Hello students, welcome to the pole science of class 9. And in the previous class we had completed the questions and answers related to chapter number 3, that is the constitutional design. And today we will begin with the revision of another chapter that we have completed previously, that was chapter number 1, why democracy and what is democracy. So let us proceed then. So as you can see in the picture, according to Mahatma Gandhi, he has said rightly that the spirit of democracy cannot be established in the midst of terrorism, whether governmental or popular. That means what? He has always given support to the form of government that is democratic in nature, but the process of democracy cannot be flourished under what? If there is a problem of terrorism, or like if it is affecting the integrity and unity of the country, that type of democratic form of government cannot be successful according to him. So let us proceed to this chapter then. So the first point that comes is, what is democracy? That means democracy is a form of government where people has the power to choose his or her representative. This is the biggest advantage that is with the or in the hands of the people. If we take example of India, then we can say that we are following the democratic form of government since our independence. That means since 1947 till date, that means till the year 2020. We are proud to say that we are successful in following the democratic form of government, and according to this democratic form of government, we have the ultimate power. That means we, the people of India, have the ultimate power to choose our type of government, the government that we want for our welfare and development. That form of government we can choose. We have that much of power, and we can choose through the direct participation, or you can say by utilizing our universal adult franchise or suffrage. That means the right to vote. We can elect that type of government that can work for our development, for our progress, and that can be done through our right to vote. So this is the democracy, and this is the democratic form of government that is present in India. After that, what is democracy? So if we tell about democracy, that means right to vote is there. What will happen then after that? Then the representative will form the government and make policy on the behalf of the people according to the powers and functions given by the constitution. So that this is the second stage. Suppose assume that we, through the right to vote or through the power of voting, have elected the government. Suppose here you can see that the symbol that is of the party Bharatiya Janata Party, and as we know that since the two consecutive times, that means in the year 2014 and again in the year 2019, we the people of India have chosen the NDA, that is headed by the BJP, that means Bharatiya Janata Party, and they are being elected by us, and we believed through the voting of ours that they will work for the progress and development of our or of the people of India. So after that we have chosen them, what they will do? Then the representative, that means then the representative means then the government will do what? Will form the government. As soon as we have elected them, they will form the government first. As they have formed the government, they will have a department wise portfolio of all the ministers, and the highest of them all will be elected as the Prime Minister. As in this case, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the real head and he is holding the topmost position. After we have elected them, he has formed the government and he has allotted different portfolios like Defense Minister, Education Minister. Likewise, he will make the portfolios, and above all he will be the head and he will be the topmost person in that form of government. So as that particular government through the right to voting will form the government, they will make what? They will make policy on the behalf of the people according to the powers and functions given by the constitution. And as soon as they form the government, they will work on implementing the policy. Implementing the policy means they will make that kind of policies that will actually work for what? That will actually work for us only. Through what? Through that policy, the government will make sure that that particular policy will work for the welfare and development of the society as well as the people also. And whatever the policy they will bring, while making the policy, they will also keep in mind about all the functions and powers of the constitution. That means that government cannot go beyond the constitution. They have to abide by the constitution, because the constitution is the supreme law in our country. And the government, while implementing or formulating policy, they should do what? They should have a look at all the powers and functions. They also have a limit, and it is clearly written in the constitution about the way in which the government should actually function and work. So they will look at the powers and functions also, how much limit they have, and after looking at that only, they will formulate and implement policy, and that will actually work for the development and progress of the people and society. Clear? After that, people also have the power to remove the representative if they are not functioning his or her duty properly. So this is the most important aspect also, and this is the most important power that we have as a citizen of the country. That means, if suppose we have elected some member, or you can say we have, through the right to vote, we have elected one member of legislative assembly, suppose the MLA. If that MLA, suppose, is elected for the period of 5 years and he is not working for the welfare of the people also and for the society also, then what will happen? Whoever has given vote in favor of him or her will become what? Will not trust him anymore, because he or she has not been able to fulfill the dreams and desires of the people. Clear? So he or she is not at all capable of holding that position. So in the next election, suppose if that same person stand in the election and asks for your vote, then the scenario will be different. Then what will happen? The people over there who has given him vote the earlier time, having trust on him or her, this time they will not at all give vote to him or her. So this is the power of the common people. That means the power of us, that we can elect also, and if not satisfied, or if he or she is not working for the welfare and progress of the society and people, then we can remove also by not giving him the vote when he stands in the elections, or when his tenure comes to an end after 5 years. After that, what is democracy? The word democracy has been derived from the Greek word demokrasia. Remember this. Suppose if in the board exam the question comes, what is democracy? You can write simply about democracy, that democracy is the process in which the people participates, people have the power to right to vote, or you can also write democracy is of the people, for the people, and by the people. This is the famous saying being said by Abraham Lincoln. But if you write like this, what is democracy? If you start from this, like the word democracy has been derived from Greek word demokrasia, in which demos means people and krasia means rule. After that, you can write that democracy is the form of government in which the people have the right to participate through right to vote. Then you can start. So this you can write in the introduction part, maintaining the standard of writing answers. So beginning with the word democracy, it has been derived from Greek word, which is actually what? Demokrasia, in which demos, the first part, means people, and krasia means rule. Simple. That means people's rule. After that, according to Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest president of the USA, he defines democracy as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. As I have said you just now about that democracy, according to Abraham Lincoln, who was one of the most successful and the greatest president of the United States of America, defined democracy as what? He defined democracy as the government or the type of government which is of the people, by the people, and for the people. That means everywhere you can say that the people are there. That means through participation also, they are electing also, they are having a direct participation also. That means if India is a democratic country, that means India is having that type of government which is by the people also, of the people also, and for the people also. We are electing for us the type of government that we want. Clear? After that, difference between democratic and non-democratic government. As you can see, I have prepared two columns, that is one under the head of democratic government and the other under the head of non-democratic government. So under democratic form of government, the government are formed by representatives. That means for various posts, the members are contesting elections. But in a non-democratic government, ruled by force, by person or a group. That means if we tell about non-democratic government, we can take example of Pakistan. But remember that Pakistan is also following democratic form of government. But in between that, what happened? Once upon a time, that president, our military general of Pakistan, whose name was what? Pervez Musharraf. He took over the democratic form of government by what? By force. Through his military, he took it by force and he started dictating that thing. So that democratic government became what? The non-democratic government. Because that was a rule by force or by a person or a group. Under democratic government, number 2 point is that representatives are elected in a free and fair elections. So if we talk about democratic government, we can say that we are giving the vote, and in lieu of that vote only, the representative whosoever are contesting elections, they are actually elected. Whosoever is getting the highest vote, that particular person is elected in a certain positions, and that are done in what? A free and fair manner. Clear? But in non-democratic government, representatives are not elected by the people. As I have told you earlier, that in a non-democratic government, they will acquire that position through force, through the power. Now, number 3rd point under democratic government is that a major decision by the elected leaders. That means whatever the major decisions are taken, suppose if any major decisions are to be taken for the people living in the country India, so that decisions will be taken by whom? By the elected leaders or by the elected representatives. So the highest hierarchy the highest hierarchical position in our country is the position of Prime Minister. So whatever the major decision is there, so that major decisions will be taken by whom? Our Honorable Prime Minister in a democratic form of government. And in the non-democratic government, major decisions by non-elected leaders. That is for sure that whosoever take that position by force, he will take the major decisions, and that will be known as what? The major decisions are taken by non-elected leaders. The number 4 is citizens have the rights to oppose policy and action made by the government. And one biggest advantage of the democratic form of government is that if suppose we have elected the government, and suppose they are making policies which are not at all satisfied, or which are not at all working for the success of the people and society, then at that moment the people living in that particular country can oppose that, and they can, after opposing, they can also protest, and they can demand the government to withdraw the certain policies that are not successful for the society also and for the people also. That much power we as a citizens have in a country like India. But in non-democratic government, no criticism of government or ruler are tolerated. But if we say about non-democratic government, then there is a different scenario. If the particular country is following non-democratic government, their people cannot protest. They have to abide by whatever the things or policies the non-elected government will bring. The people living over the non-democratic country have simply one thing to do. They must follow. They cannot criticize or they cannot oppose. The number 5 point is that citizen have voting rights, one person, one vote, one value. This is also an important point, that citizens living in a democratic country have the power of right to vote, and that right to vote counts as what? If I am giving the vote, that means I am one person, I am giving one vote, and my vote is counted as one vote. That means if I am giving one vote, it has one number of value. That means one vote, it will be counted as one vote. But in the democratic form of government, no voting rights is given to the citizens. And it is as simple as that, because they are acquiring that positions forcefully. So in that case, what will happen? How voting rights will be given actually? No voting rights will be or can be given in that particular moment. Clear? So with this, we will wind up today's topic. So in today's topic, we started from the definition of democracy, then we move towards the number 2 point, that if we have the right to vote, we are electing the government. After that, what does the government do? The government makes policies, and that too under the strict rules and regulations or the powers and functions that are given in the constitution, according to which the government runs. After that, we have also read that important point, that we also have the power to remove through certain representatives if they are not working properly, through our right to vote. Then we learned one more important point about democracy, that it has been derived from Greek word demokratia, in which demos means people and kratia means rule. After that, we have also read about a popular definition related to democracy, that is of the people, by the people and for the people, which was actually given by the great and the most successful president of the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln. And lastly, we read about the differences between democratic and non-democratic government, under which 6 points each we have discussed. So I hope that whatever the points we have read today, it is now clear to you. With that, I will wind up today's topic. Thank you.